Studio. We welcome now Stephen McCraney, Executive Director of the Mississippi Emergency Management Authority. And so, Stephen, what is going on out there, man? We're hearing that there are some concerns about the situation Yazoo with the Yazoo River and the levee. Can you clarify that for us, sir, as we get started here?
Yeah, let's first of all, let's go ahead and say it's not the Yazoo River, but if you look at it's south east of Yazoo City, there's just off Highway 16, just barely off of it. There's a subdivision, the Eastbrook subdivision, and we're dealing with an overflow there coming over the road. It's not broken at all at this time. We've got we called and talked with the emergency management director there for Yazoo County, Jack Willingham. He's let us know that there's no mandatory evacuation at this time, but where that dam is on Springwood Place, there's 8 homes on the other side of that road because that road runs right on top of the dam. So you could possibly have about 8 homes that are cut off if it does breach that area. So one house downrange from that dam, and they've already notified that person and whatnot. So all those homeowners have been notified by either the local law enforcement. Had fire on the scene, as well as emergency management director for the county. So it's a stand back down. I know that social media and others, it gets grip, and then we see pictures of dams from other states that's not the dam. Kind of like the message we put out yesterday. Hey, let's get that exact information out there to the public and let them know that your emergency services folks are out there. They're doing a great job. Been doing it all night. I think I got about 3 hours sleep last night through all the storms that came through, and I was going to tell you soggy morning, not good morning today.
All right, so what else is going on? So I had stated in the last segment that the National Weather Service, based on what I can tell, has kind of moved the threat area to our south. We were expecting here in central Mississippi us to be really encountering some extremely severe weather, but so I understood from some meteorological reports that the excess rain and precipitation we got in central Mississippi sort of reduced the threat and stabilized the air. But that didn't occur in the southern part of the state. Is that right? There's some truth to that, or how does that work?
Absolutely. You know, last night I left here about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I was not expecting that front to come through. As strong as it did out in the communities of Raymond, tracked right across through Jackson, Madison, and whatnot. We were tracking those last night, had storm observers out. So that one kind of snuck out. And then we're kind of looking at a system where it feeding out of Louisiana, that's kind of where we're getting that moisture. We're getting that push, that 60 to 70, 80 mile an hour cut of wind across there that's really got us going. But as that storm went through last night, and then this morning, again, about 2:34 this morning when I was dealing with it, it seems like it's shifted now. So we've really got the southern part of the state that I believe is going to have the rest of the day impact heavily. Not to say that any rain added on what we've already had is not going to impact us. That's definitely something we're looking at. We've got 4 rivers that we're currently looking at that are in minor flood stage. The Big Black River at West, Yallabusha River at Calhoun City, and the Yallabusha River at Whaley. And we're also looking at in Quitman County, the Marks area. So we've been working with the levee board, local emergency managers, and the Corps of Engineers to make sure as we're releasing water out of the Arkabuckler Lake up there that we've got all our bases covered. We went ahead and pre-deployed 100,000 sandbags to North Mississippi. We've got them staged where they can get to where they need to get, even in South Mississippi, and here out of the Central District. We handle that right out of the MEMA headquarters here. Tarps, you name it. We went ahead and pre-staged a lot of things because we want that response to be immediate. We want the people to be able to get those. And so that's kind of 35,000 people peak out of power last night. It crept up on us. And then I think about an hour ago, I saw it was back down to about 32,000. So you're going to get some fluctuation. The winds when they get the tree limbs and you'll get the cutoffs. But those Energy and others, they are going to be out there as soon as they can with those high winds to be able to do the work they need to do.
What does the timing, and the schedule look like today as far as this thing moving through?
I've got an official schedule, and then I got Mother Nature's schedule, which does not fit any of our schedules at all. So, we thought it was going to come in about at 9 o'clock this morning. It was briefed for 8, but then it kind of backed up to 9 and then compressed on the backside. We were supposed to go to about 8 or 9 o'clock. Now it's looking at 6 p.m. time frame on the eastern side of the state. So, but if you look at that, the way almost Kosciuszko down, that's the roughest part of the state is going to be in for the rest of the day. Here around the Jackson time frame, we're thinking 2 to 3 o'clock. We ought to be clearing up here, just getting regular rain and not the severe thunderstorms.
Rhino was just reporting to us about some tornado, I believe, warnings along the Gulf Coast, extending from Slidell across the coast and including Gulfport. What are you hearing there? Anything at this point?
We're observing the same thing. We went through a few of them last night. They were turning radar indicated tornadoes. We kind of go off that ground truth, but prepare when you see it's radar indicated. They're seeing the turbulence in the wind, whether it's 1,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 5, 6, 7,000 feet above the ground. So it could come down at any moment, and that's what we want people to be prepared for. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and then we get on the backside and we can replace property things, but the lives we cannot get back. And I just can't ring that bell enough that when you get these warnings, do the right thing. I know you've either got to go to work, you've got to go shopping, put that off. That's I even told my staff here, if you can't make it here, every one of them have got a computer, a radio, and a way to hook back into the system. So we're connected wherever we are in the state. So we're even being safe today as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that you had assets and resources deployed around the state. Do you expect that those to stay in place throughout the rest of the day?
Yeah, we're gonna leave those there. We've always had things staged in South Mississippi during hurricane season and whatnot. We ramp up for that. As we were looking at severe weather, we went ahead and picked a couple of places. The local emergency management directors in the state that have storage capacity, we go ahead and issue that out of our warehouse and just have it on hold. It's still within our control, but it's out there. It's so much closer than if I've got to go to North Mississippi to Panola County, that's a 6.5-hour trip for one of my trucks, dualies, hauling 50 to 60,000 sandbags. So we want to reduce that time, and in this prep time for them to be able to draw what they need, and then we'll take care of all the logistics and counting of bags and where they went afterwards.
Yeah. What else do the people of Mississippi need to be aware of, Stephen?
Well, I think if you look at hopefully folks have pictures of their house before the storm. So if something does happen, if you have straight line winds that comes in and separates the soffit off the roof, maybe some shingles here and there, take pictures, file that insurance claim. Let's make sure you document your damage before you or anyone else tries to fix that. That's one of the most important things if you're going to try to file a claim. We're looking at the Pearl River and Arkla-Buckla Dam. We're watching those that might cause issues. We're seeing minor on the scale. Ross Barnett Reservoir is not a flood control device, but they have done a great job of going ahead and dropping about a foot or so. So they can try to catch that capacity, because we're looking at the next 2, 3, 4 days on our rivers. The Mississippi River is fine. It's going to be under any of the flood stages. So we're looking at those small tributaries and looking at, so when the sun starts shining tomorrow, you just got to know that water is still coming from North Mississippi. And it's coming all the way down. So we're preparing for that messaging as well.
And I noticed on the roads this morning, there's lots of debris. I mean, it wasn't anything that was obstructing the roads, but just be careful. There are branches extending out and things that could cause a problem as you're driving about. I noticed that, and I'm sure that's the case throughout the state, honestly, with this weather moving
It
through.
is, and people need to be cognizant that when you're riding down the road, everybody else is riding down that road, and it causes two ruts.
That's true. That's true.
And those two ruts
You're
are
right.
full of water. So
Right.
I was watching people dancing on 55 this morning when I was coming in about 5:30, and it's you've got to be aware that that's about a half an inch or an inch of water.
You're right.
And
We got to go.
It will pull you.
We appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.